Look, Spittin Factz episode 2. Inside this video, we're going to be clarifying what is the mind, what is the personality, and what is intelligence. The mind does not think. I repeat, the mind does not think. Now, if you believe that the mind thinks, it's not your fault because pretty much the whole world believes that. You see, your mind is like a container. Back in ancient Egypt, right? The symbol for your heart was a vase. Now, the ancient Egyptians associated the heart with the mind. And the reason why the heart was a vase was because a vase holds shit. Now, the mind holds shit. It holds thoughts, emotions, fucking behaviors, memories, all that shit. Your personality, literally, it just holds things. You feel me? The same way how you're walking inside of a mind right now that holds things. You know, this space shit is a giant mind and it holds planets. You know what? Let me not even get there. Let me not even talk about that. So we already clarified that the mind is like a container and it holds things. These things mean thoughts, emotions, memories, all that shit, right? Now, what is the personality? Your personality, right, is your identity. So you can have multiple personalities, right, which get called personas. And then your personality would be the main persona that you identify with. You feel me? Now, the thing is, your personality is not real. Your personality is just a group of thoughts, emotions, ideas, impressions, behaviors, beliefs, perceptions. That's what your personality is. It pretty much starts off right from when you were born. From when you were born, and you start telling yourself a story. I am this person. I grew up in this type of household. I had these type of parents. I feel this way about my parents. My life has been going this way for some time. Now I am this type of person. I like doing these type of things. I don't like these type of things. All this other shit. It's basically what the fuck you identify with inside your head. It's basically the main group of thoughts, emotions, ideas, and behaviors that you identify with inside your head. Now, with that being said, you could always change these thoughts, emotions, ideas, and behaviors. It's just that when you have grown so used to thinking and feeling and behaving and just perceiving life a certain way, it becomes very hard to change your personality. But best believe you can change that shit, because the only way it got here was because you started having certain ideas and then you formed this into a group, and then you made yourself identify with that group of ideas. Now, because of that, when you have certain thoughts, right? Certain thoughts just may not be like you because you don't identify with those thoughts. You feel me? If you think that you're only a baker, you're not going to identify with thoughts from a scientist. You feel me? Even if you get those thoughts, you may just kind of push them away because you don't identify with being a scientist. But if you identify with what you truly are, which is everything or nothing, then you can easily accept everything as you, and then nothing will really bother you like that. But that may not be easy for everyone to understand. So that's why we're here where we are right now. You feel me? Intelligence, right, is your ability to the ability to acquire knowledge and apply that knowledge. That is intelligence. Now, you have two forms of intelligence. You have two ways of knowing shit: intellectually and intuitively. So you have your intellect and you have intuition. Now, your intellect, right, is what most people function under. Your intellect is the shit that actually thinks. When you're having thoughts and shit, that's your intellect working. Now, your intellect, right, is used for reasoning, finding out what's real, what's not real, what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. That's what your intellect is used for. Now, the thing is, what's good and bad should not really be up to you, even though you could, like for an example, when it comes to a stove, right? If a stove is hot and you touch that bitch, it's gonna fucking burn you. You feel me? But that doesn't mean that the stove is bad. It just means that it's not smart for you to touch that shit when it's on. However, it's good when it's serving its purpose. It's only bad when you touch that bitch, right? So your intellect, right? Most people use this shit to identify shit with being good, bad, right, wrong. What it should be used for, right, is just being able to see shit how it is. You touch the stove, holy shit, the stove burned me. I shouldn't touch that bitch no more. You feel me? Your intellect is like a knife in the sense that it cuts things down into smaller pieces. When you read a book, right, a book is basically one giant idea, right, but it's inside smaller pieces. When you read that bitch, you're like dissecting the knowledge into smaller pieces and shit like that. So if the book is about peace, right, they may have 10 chapters, and each chapter is a different way of obtaining peace. You feel me? So your intellect cuts down, instead of seeing just peace, it cuts that bitch down into 10 different ways to achieve peace. Now, intuition, right, is more receptive. You don't have to use your intuition; it's just there, and your intuition helps you receive information. Now, the thing is, most people cannot become intuitive because one, they only function at a level of intellect, and two, they don't have their body and their mind can't receive information. Here's the reason why. It's like with a cell phone, right? If you have a horrible phone in general, right, just a trash ass phone, you may not be able to get reception anywhere that you're at because your phone is not a good phone. Now, let's say you have a good phone, but you're in the wrong place. You still can't get reception. What you need is a good phone and to be inside of a good place. You need a good body. And you need to be in an environment that promotes that promotes receptivity. Like, for an example, let's say you take care of yourself, right? You eat healthy as shit and all that type of stuff, right? But every single night you go out to the club and you just party. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying if you do that shit every single night, right? You're constantly filling your head with music, maybe even drugs. You feel me? But all that loud shit, you don't have time to be still and receive any information. You feel me? If your life is always on go and you never have time to just sit out and chill, you can't receive shit. You feel me? Now let's say that you're trying to receive information, but your body's not is not really healthy like that. You feel me? Like, you need a healthy mind and healthy thoughts. To have a healthy mind, you need to realize that if you are constantly thinking negative shit, all you're gonna do is keep on attracting more negative shit. You feel me? So the only thing you're gonna receive is negative shit, and part of the reason why is because your body's not healthy. You see, when your body's not healthy, right? You have so many fucking organisms inside your body right the fuck now. And if you're not taking care of your body, these organisms can make you literally have negative thoughts. They can make you produce negative thoughts because your body just feels so negative. Therefore, you're going to think negative and shit like that. So when you start eating healthier, you become more receptive to healthy thoughts. Now, the thing is, when it comes to being intellectual, it don't matter what the fuck you eat. You could just read books and do all that type of shit. But you will never know life fully if you only intellectually look at life. If you only try to just have book knowledge and shit like that, you never go with inside yourself to just start receiving shit, you'll never fully know life. You'll know a fucking lot. You'll be what most people think is a genius. You'll be very knowledgeable, but you won't have any true knowing about what this life actually is. So that's that. That's why in yoga and shit like that, they try to make you become healthy first, and then they give you all the spiritual work, because when you're healthy and shit, you can actually receive the right information and the right energies and shit like that. If you're not healthy, you're not gonna receive the right shit. You feel me? And the thing is, in order to achieve the highest level of intelligence, you have to become receptive. The most, if in order for you to really know life, you have to just be able to just really just receive everything. You have to be able to just, like, for example, sometimes you may know some shit and you don't know how the fuck you knew that bitch. What if you were like that all the fucking time, to the point where you don't have to read a book about something? You just start doing this shit and you find out how the fuck to do this shit. You'll become a fucking genius, because now it's like wherever the fuck you are, you just receive the proper information. Let's say you never fucking worked on a car before, right? But you could go up to that car and just somehow download thoughts about how to fix that bitch. You can get to that point. Now, I'm not saying that you need to, because most yogis and shit like that don't end up doing shit like that. You feel me? People who get really enlightened don't end up doing shit like that anyway. I'm just saying, though. Imagine if you could receive the right answer at all times. That's what shit like meditation and mindfulness and shit like that is for. You feel me? And also eating healthy. You feel me? And that's the end of this video.